to make certain choices. I mean, for example, if 5G becomes an issue between the two sides, then the countries have to decide which system are you going to take. And I think different countries will make different decisions. Certainly in the software part of the internet world, if we are talking about Google and Facebook, the Chinese have their equivalents. They have Baidu and Weibo and all the equivalents, but it's a parallel universe. But, well, okay, software...
That's the splinter net, though, that everyone worries about, that the world is no longer having one global internet.
I think the original idea that it's one globalized net and we all talk to one another and national boundaries are irrelevant was not a realistic one. Governments are not going to allow this, and those governments which are able to do something about it will want to have some management of these overwhelming tides and flows, and the Chinese governments have decided to put a lot more resources in this than anybody else. And they've built up their own ecosystem and their own world, and it's kind of connected to the rest of the world, but actually it's almost a walled garden. And it still works. Ideally, we would all be watching YouTube videos, but well, if you can't quite do that, life will have to go on. But when it comes to technology, I think if you bifurcate on technology, and I have my chipset and you have yours, and I have my supply chain and you have yours, then I think the cost is much higher. Cost in terms of just financial cost of making things, but also cost in terms of technological progress, because, and interoperability. I do need to work across boundaries, and I do not want to have to carry one phone for every country I'm visiting.
It looks as if you're going to have to carry possibly two phones quite soon if the Americans and the Chinese, it splits along those lines.
Well, that could well happen.
Can I ask you particularly on that? I mean, you mentioned 5G. You have the issue of Huawei.
Yes.
You're rolling out your own 5G thing.
Yes.
And you have said to the telecom companies, you know, you make up your mind whether to use Huawei or not.
Well, we haven't banned Huawei. What we've said that we have operational requirements. We've set out our requirements. We've asked the telcos to put in their bids, and that we'll evaluate the bids, and it'll depend on how much they cost, how they perform, and also